What's going on, guys? PXCan20 back again with a brand new video. We are here at the Red Bull Ring doing a FIA Manufacturer Cup race for the day, and unfortunately, because of Blue Moon, we lost a lot of safety rating and we are actually demoted to a lower ranked lobby for our first race. So I decided to take this race just as a practice race and practice for the real race, since we weren't going to get as many points as we needed to get to the top 50. Anyways, if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That's going to be our yearly goal. Leave a like on the video if you guys really enjoyed the video. Really helps out the channel. Let's jump straight into the race. So we're here racing with B level and C level cars. As we jump into turn number 1, you see already the GTR decides to bump out the Corvette. As we head into turn number 1, the Corvette loses 2 positions and gets a penalty. Again, GT Sport showing its finest with its penalty system. But anyways, to jump into turn number 2, as we are right behind the GTR heading into turn number 2, we're hoping that nobody behind us runs into us, as the GTR runs in too deep, actually jumps out really wide coming out of turn number 2, and we're going onto the inside trying to make a move down the straightaway as we head into turn number 3. So we follow the slipstream of second place and we're able to get the overtake done. As we head to turn number 3, we get a little bump and then we get taken out by the GTR. We're forced to the dirt as we go to the replay here, and the GTR just outbrakes himself and then decides to just take me out and finish the job. So now we've jumped all the way from 3rd place down to 10th as we see another car spin out ahead of us. So now it's just a catch-up game, which it's not what I wanted to do, because I wanted to just focus more on the strategy and just see how long the tires were. But now we gotta force our way through the pack as we make a move on 7th place. But now we have to force our way through the pack and try to catch back up to the leaders, as we are now on lap 2. We jump up into lap number 4 here, and you can see there's a gaggle of cars right in front of us. As you see, 2 cars now have a penalty, and so we're going to try to make an overtake on the McLaren heading on the outside coming out of turn number 2, as the 2 cars ahead of us lose their penalties there, serve their penalty on the penalty zone, and we jump up into position number 5. Jumping up to the end of lap 4, we actually got taken out again, and so we lost a few more positions as we head into turn number 1. We see the yellow flags there, and we're right behind the Jaguar. The Jaguar slows down just because he sees the Corvette coming back onto the track. So let's see what exactly happened here. The Corvette just decides to take out 2 cars, the McLaren and the GTR. I don't know what's going on with this lobby. I mean, I thought we were doing an FIA race, but I guess people are just ramming each other and trying to be Momo. But yeah, we make an overtake on the Corvette because he decided to take 2 cars out, and I believe we also overtook the McLaren 2 heading into turn number 1. As we jump more into the lap here, and you can see the Corvette just decides to take out the Mercedes too. So I don't know what's the business with this Corvette, but I guess he's got a chip on his shoulder with every single car. As we jump into lap number 5 here, we're passing the GTR, our friendly GTR here that took us out in the first lap. And we make a clean overtake, so we show him the 101 basic fundamentals of how to overtake a car heading into turn number 3, as we do not make contact with him going into the 2nd sector. The Jaguar runs a little bit wide coming to this left-hander, and we're going to try to make a move on the inside, but we kind of back out, just follow him as he takes a very early entrance into the left-hander heading to the right-hander. We make an overtake on the outside. Very daring move, but we get the move done heading into the final 2 turns, and that is 6th place for us. So now we're heading towards the end of the 3rd or the straightaway here, and the GTR outbrakes himself, and we give him a little tap there as we come out turn 3 heading into turn 4 here, and so we're able to catch the position back too. We head into the pits, so now we're back in 7th place as we're heading to turn number 1 again on lap number 10. We're catching up to I believe this is the Lexus right ahead of us. We try to make a move on the inside. He cuts us off, so we have to just let him just have the spot basically as we head into turn number 2. I try to make a move on the inside, but actually accidentally outbrake myself and give him a little punt, but he decides to let us go through because I guess he had slower tires. But I mean, honestly, that was my fault. I didn't mean to bump into him as we jump further into the race. Jumping further into the race, and the same Lexus actually starts fighting with the McLaren, and both of them are actually punching into each other, ramming each other down on the straightaway as they head into turn number 1. They're gonna hit the 50-meter board here, or the 100-meter board, start braking, and then he just punts out the McLaren. I don't know, just something in this lobby. Just everyone's just wrecking each other as we jump into the final lap to finish this race. I just want to finish this race at this point. I'm just tired of everyone just bumping and ramming into each other as we pass the Mercedes. For 5th place, we head into turn number 3, and as we fast forward here, we're trying to catch up to the McLaren before we hit the final 2 turns. He actually gets a very, very bad entrance going into the left-hander, heading to the right-hander. And we try to make a move on the outside, slow him a dummy, and try to go into the inside. He forces us to the inside. We have to make a move on the grass, just like Albon did to Sergio Perez. As we head to the final 2 right-handers, we brake very, very little. We make contact a little bit. No harm, no foul done, but we make the overtake. We accomplish the overtake. I can't even speak. We accomplish the overtake heading into the final turn. And we get 4th place for this race as we spin out on the line. So now, very, very entertaining practice race, but I'm so happy that we're finally done with that race. As we jump into our real lobby here, so you see now we're ranked with A players and S ranked players, so we got to do really, really well on this and stay on our toes, as we are jumping for 225 points if you finish in 1st, but we are shooting for a podium because that's all we need to increase our points more in the standings and push us even further in the top 50 of North America. So jumping into the race here, we're in 7th place here as we qualified fairly well, not too bad, but I think we could have done a little bit better as we try to make a move on binary, going into the final 2 right-handers, coming off of lap number 1. We aren't able to make the move stick, but we're trying to stay in the slipstream. As you see, the front 3 cars ahead of us are actually battling with each other, so they're gonna hopefully slow each other down as we jump into lap number 3. We try to make a move on binary, going into turn number 1. Brake very, very late, go side by side coming out of the turn, try to push him out a little bit wide, but he holds his spot there as he gets momentum coming out of turn number 1. And we jump back into the slipstream, but that move that we tried taking on binary actually gives us less momentum coming down the straightaway as we make a little bit of contact with 8th as he's trying to make a move on the inside. We go 3 wide heading to turn number 2, but we all back out and go single file coming out of turn number 2. So now we head down the straight here. As you see, a car ahead of us actually has a penalty. We're going to try to see if we can try to get close to him and probably hopefully overtake him going into turn number 3, but he was just too far up and we had to stay where we were at. We fast forward here, coming to the 2nd sector as we come into the final 2 right-handers. We are still following 6th, 5th, and 4th, and they're racing pretty hard as we come into the final 2 right-handers. The McLaren actually goes a little bit wide, and he has to concede the position to 4th, and he still runs wide coming out of the final turn, and that promotes us up into 6th position. So we're working our way up now as we're trying to make a move now on binary going into turn number 1. We brake very, very late here, right after the 100-meter board. Take a very, very early apex, try to push out binary, and are we going to be able to make the move? Yes, we are. We get the move done, and now we're following 4th heading into turn number 2. We defend the inside position as we make a naughty move and actually move a little bit towards the inside under braking, but no harm, no foul done, and we're able to keep 5th place as we head into the 3rd turn. Coming to the 3rd turn here, we're trying to make just a look on the inside. We're still a little too far back to try to make any type of pass on 4th place, but we do get a good exit coming out of the 3rd turn. As we're trying to make a move on the inside going into the left-hander, 4th place sees that we're there, kind of backs out, but he's got the wider line going into this left-hander, and we're going to have the inside line going into this left-hander, so hopefully we can try to make a stick, go side by side going into the left-hander here, and we make the position done coming out of the final, or out of the right-hander. That's going to lead us into the final 2 right turns. And we have 4th place. Now, our main goal here is to try to finish in the podium, so we have to catch up to the podium, but you can see we're actually losing a little bit of time to him, and we start getting stuck battling 4th, 5th, and 6th here on lap 5. As you see, binary is right next to us, and we're going side by side into 2 corners now. As we head into turn number 3, we go a little bit too deep, and we make a little bit of contact binary, but we still keep it side by side as we head into the right-hander. And you can see right there that we're losing a ton of time on the top 3, so this is not helping us out as all this battling is making us lose so much time to 3rd place. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch up to the podium anymore, but you see we're coming into the left-hander here. Binary actually gives me a little tap, pushes me out wide a little bit as we head into the right-hander. I think he thought he knew those naughty moves, so he actually backs out of the move there. And yeah, so we jump into the pits coming out of lap number 8. And we lose a ton of positions as we come out of the pits in 13th position. We're actually going to probably lose another position there. I guess we do, to the Viper. And so we follow the slipstream now. So the main thing here was to just not battle with these guys. But you can see already that's not going to work out because the 2 cars ahead of us are already fighting for position. We try to make a move on the inside, try to get clear of 13th. We do. And now it's the Viper. So if we can get past the Viper, we can get clean air. As you can see, there's no cars ahead of us. But that doesn't work out as we catch up to 10th place here. And the Viper and 10th place are now fighting. So I have to pick my line here as we come into turn number 2. I decided to go with the Viper as we head into the second corner. And I make a little bit of contact with the Viper, but luckily it wasn't a lot of contact. We were able to break it fast, but we actually get punted from behind coming out of the turn. And we don't gain a position due to that punt because we lose all the momentum from almost spinning out. So 2 cars behind us get penalty, but we stay in 12th place as we jump into turn number 3. We're trying to make a move on 11th. We break very, very late. Try to keep it on the inside. 11th sees us, the 11th place car sees us and actually backs out of the move. So we get 11th and overtake him. Jumping up more cars are starting more later into the race, more cars are starting to come into the pit, and you see Binary's right ahead of us, so we got to get past him here on the straightaway since he came out with less speed as us. And we're heading to turn number 2, getting into the slipstream of the Dodge Viper ahead of us. Brake very, very late as we can. Try to hold the position, and we are able to hold the position on Binary, as that was going to be very, very crucial as he gives us a little tap on the rear. But that was very, very crucial to the race as we're not going to be fighting with him hopefully throughout the remainder of the race, and we could try to catch up to 3rd. So ahead of us again, the Dodge Viper and the Corvette are now fighting with each other as we try to make a move on the inside of the Corvette. And we break kind of early, but we don't have any position to try to make a move on the inside. But we do get a good run coming off of the right-hander, so we give the Corvette a little bit of a bump. We try to get him to the inside here, but he's covering the inside, so we move straight back to the outside, try to make a move on the outside on the final 2 right-handers. And we make the move stick, and we get 7th place as the Dodge Viper ahead of us actually goes to pits. We're able to gain another position there coming off the final turn. Now we're on the podium here on lap number 12, but you see right there that Suppressor YT actually comes out of the pit and is right ahead of us in 3rd place. So we got to try to make the move here so we can have a chance at the podium. So we try to make a move here on the straightaway coming to turn number 2. And we get ahead of him heading into turn number 2, and we break very, very late. But he decides to just push us out a little bit, pushes us out wide, coming out of turn number 2, and we spin out. And that is race over for us, as we're not gonna be able to make up those positions back. We try to get the car spun around to get it straight, but let's go back to the move. I mean, he just brakes very, very late. I'm already committed to going to hit the apex, and he just forces his way there, rams us out, and pushes us out wide and spins us out because of that. So I thought it was just a racy incident, but we jump up 2 laps later and he does the exact same thing to 3rd place. So you see they're going into turn number 3, and he just decides to just bump 3rd place out of the way just to get the position done. I'm pissed off now. I mean, I raced very, very hard and cleanly with a lot of these people. Just get taken out with 5 laps to go left. So yeah, now we're jumped all the way back to 18th place here as we come into lap number 15th, and I actually did not finish this race. I just decided to leave the race because there's no point in finishing this race, as we were gonna no matter what, we're gonna lose driver ratings and maybe safety ratings, which I was hoping not to, but definitely driver ratings. So I decided just to quit the lobby and just finish it there. So yeah, going back to the recording from the first race, as you saw, we got 4th place in the first race, but yeah, very, very disappointing because we got stuck with that first lobby where everyone was just ramming each other, and then we do fairly well on the second race, and we're close to, or we're challenging at least for a podium, and then we get taken out. So it's just very, very disappointing. But anyways, if you guys really like the video, subscribe down below, leave a like on the video. It really helps out the channel. You guys like the video, and hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next race. Peace out.